friends, welcome to this LeanFT tutorial in C#.NET by Softpost. This is part 1, and in this part I'm gonna explain you the basics of the LeanFT, and I will also explain how you can install the LeanFT and LeanFT plugin for Visual Studio and LeanFT API in C#.NET, and little bit about Object Identification Center as well. So let us start with LeanFT introduction. So LeanFT is the tool developed by HP, and it can be used to automate the web as well as Windows applications. It's developed by HP in 2015. It's a proprietary tool. It's not open source, and we can write tests in .NET language as well as Java using LeanFT. And LeanFT plugins are available for Visual Studio, Eclipse as well as IntelliJ, and LeanFT is description programming as well as application models to identify the objects. So this is brief description of the LeanFT. So one of the industry leading tool by the HP has been QTP or UFT, but because of restriction of only VB script programming, HP decided to develop this tool LeanFT, and they offered these two languages, .NET and Java, in which we can write the script. So that is the biggest advantage of the having LeanFT instead of UFT. So that's the difference between UFT and LeanFT. Like we can write the tests in Java and C# using LeanFT. Then installation of LeanFT. For installing the trial version of LeanFT, you can head to this particular website of the HP and download that tool. And before you start the installation, what you need to do is that you need to install node.js and also the IDE tools like Visual Studio, IntelliJ, Eclipse, etc., in which you are going to write the tests. And also ensure that your antivirus software is disabled for a while while you are installing the LeanFT. And once these two conditions are met, you can start the installation process, and by default it will be installed at this particular location on Windows system. So in the beginning of the installation process, you will see this pop-up where you can select the installation options, and if you want to install the plugins, you can select these check boxes, and SDKs, where if you want to install all this, you can select this full installation type and click on install button. And depending upon what kind of Visual Studio you have got, that option will pop up here. Since I have got the Visual Studio 2015, this option is there. And to install the plugin for Visual Studio, I need to select this checkbox, and then I can click on install button. So after the installation is successful, you can start the LeanFT engine from that particular installation path. So that's all about the installation. Then setting up the LeanFT project in Visual Studio. Here we will see how we can set up the LeanFT project in Visual Studio. So when we install the LeanFT plugin, or when we install the LeanFT, at that time we have selected to install the plugin as well for the Visual Studio. So because of that plugin, these options pop up where we create a new project in Visual Studio. So let us go to the file and click on new project, and over here you will see those options. In the test section you will see this LeanFT templates. You can select any of this and then create a project. Here application model project is used to create the application models or the object repository, and these are used to create the test projects. So select any of these, usually MS test or an unit. If you are using, if you want to integrate the LeanFT with an unit, you can use that particular templates, and then you can create a project. And this LeanFT plugin is when you install it, this particular option is available in Visual Studio. This is added, and you can enable or disable the LeanFT plugin by clicking on this. You can launch Object Identification Center over here. You can also go to SDK reference by clicking on this button, and this is some password encoder tool. Engine and object identification settings can be launched from over here. So this is how we create a sample project in Visual Studio, and in the installation directory you will see this DLL file. So if you are creating your custom framework or custom LeanFT framework, you can add those DLLs in your project, because when you create the project from the scratch, those DLL references are not available in your project. This DLLs will be automatically loaded only when you select one of these templates. So note that point. So as you can see in the references, these references are automatically added because I have used one of the templates in provided by the LeanFT. So this is all about setting up the LeanFT project in Visual Studio. Now let us see what applications are supported by the LeanFT. So with LeanFT we can automate browsers, i.e. Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge. We can also automate Windows applications, standard Windows, WPF, Silverlight. We can also automate SAP, Java applications and standard Windows applications as well. So it supports a wide variety of applications, automation for those technologies. Then types of licenses in LeanFT, we have got 4 types of licenses that are provided by the LeanFT: seat license, concurrent license, commuter license, and remote commuter license. So seat license means that it is tied to one machine only, so you can write your test and execute on that particular machine only. Concurrent license means that we can use the license on multiple machines at the same time. Commuter license means we can use the license on multiple machines, but only one license can be used at a time. A remote commuter license means we can execute our tests remotely using that license. So this is all about the licenses. Then LeanFT plugin Visual Studio. So we have already seen like this plugin is available, and when you install that LeanFT, that plugin is automatically installed as well. And you can enable this plugin by clicking on this option, and then you can launch Object Identification Center from here. You can launch engine on Object Identification settings over here. Then understanding the LeanFT API in C#.NET. So in the C#.NET API we have got these namespaces report SDK, which contains the technologies, libraries or classes for different technologies, and then unit testing verifications. These namespaces are there. The unit testing is the unit test verification contains the verify class, which can be used to do the assertions. And let's move on to the Object Identification Center. So here you can see that Object Identification Center is over here, and using that Object Identification Center you can inspect or spy the objects of the application under a test. So what you have to do is you have to click on this button, and then after clicking press Control, and then when you are on the application that you want to spy, release the Control key and then press or click the left button of the mouse. Once you do that, this particular window comes up showing all the properties of the object. So here you can see that these are the properties, and here is the values of those properties. You can also create the code to the clipboard, highlight the application as well, generate the code for this application. So I just copied that code, and this is in the C# language. You can also take the image or a screenshot of this application under test, and this is all about how we use the Object Identification Center. This is very useful to get more information of the application or the objects under test, and we can write the description programming to identify the objects using the Object Identification Center. And in the plugin here we have got engine and object identification settings, which is very useful as well, where we can configure a lot of things, like we can configure which plugins you want or add-ins we want to load. Then as you can see, we have selected all the add-ins. That means we can automate all these types of applications. So by default only few add-ins are checked, like SAP. These add-ins are by default not selected, because loading all the add-ins causes the performance issues. So just select those add-ins that you want to, depending upon what kind of application you are testing. Then engine connection, here is the port and the engine idle timeout. So here you can specify if your engine is running on different port. And runtime settings, object synchronization timeout is 20 seconds. It means that your LeanFT will wait until this 20 seconds, and if it doesn't identify the object even after 20 seconds, it will throw the exception. And this last setting is used to allow the LeanFT to run tests on the disconnected RDB computer. Then we have got object identification tab. Over here you can select the technology, and for that technology LeanFT has defined some standard objects, and how to how LeanFT identifies those objects, like using which properties are mentioned over here in the right hand side. And as you can see, this particular button object is identified using button type name tag name properties, and it is also assisted by using these properties role accessibility name. And you can also edit these settings, like you can remove these particular properties, or you can add some other properties over here. So this is how you can configure which properties LeanFT uses to identify the objects of the application under test. So these are important settings of the LeanFT plugin. So this is all about part 1. In the next part we will see sample how to automate the Windows on the web applications in LeanFT. So thanks for watching this part 1, and stay tuned for the next part.
Hi friends, if you find this video useful, please hit like button, and for more videos just subscribe to my channel, and also visit www.softpost.org website for updated tutorials on various technologies. Thank you and see you again. Bye.